welcome to Newsfeed, your daily dose of what people are talking about online, from news stories to what's trending. Let's start with Elon Musk. The self-proclaimed chief Twit's online presence landed him in court this week. Here's why. In 2018, he tweeted he's mulling taking Tesla private at $420 a share and has secured the funding. Now, we all know that his tweets aren't always 100% reliable, but this particular tweet proved costly to many Tesla shareholders. When that tweet went out, Tesla's stock closed the day up 11%, but fell sharply when it became apparent no funding had actually been secured. The class action lawsuit alleges that Musk's tweet cost Tesla shareholders millions. Emails used in evidence show shareholders were already spooked by his tweets and how they could damage the brand. Elon's response to all of this? Well, just because he tweets something doesn't mean people will believe it or act accordingly.
The world's okayest entrepreneur took the stand yesterday and he said too many dumb things to count, but here are the top 5. 2 times during his testimony, he talked about Twitter's 240 character limit. That's right, the guy spent $40 billion on a product and he doesn't know its basic features. We learned about the number of times investors and even people on the board of directors told Elon to shut up, especially after the Thai cave diver tweet, though it appeared Elon had no recollection of this advice ever having been given. Lawyers printed out one of those emails and gave it to Elon Musk, and the judge said, "Read this to yourself, not out loud." Elon proceeded to read it out loud. When talking about short sellers, Elon made a hilarious joke that many probably thought that short sellers were just sellers of short stature. I think there are so many bad things you can be in this world, a thief, a liar, but I think probably the worst is somebody who thinks they're funny when they're just not.
Yet, despite all the madness, Tesla's profits have continued to grow, with the company making record profits this quarter. Our correspondent Andy Roaston reports from Washington, D.C.
Despite some economic headwinds and increased competition in the electric vehicle market, Elon Musk and Tesla delivered some good news on Wednesday. Record quarterly earnings in the fourth quarter of 2022, the highest in the company's nearly 20-year history, at about $24 billion for the quarter, and that slightly beat industry analysts' expectations. Twitter had some things to say about all this, as you might imagine. One critic wrote that wild how the fanboys are gushing over an earnings report that is loaded with window dressing and red flags for the future. But one supporter wrote that looks like the 5 or 6 people who vowed never to buy a Tesla have been more than replaced by other eager buyers. Well, Musk himself crowed about all this. He said, in fact, that the year-to-year sales at Tesla, January to January, are actually about to set a record as well, and he is very bullish on the company's future.
Okay, if you were already worried about artificial intelligence taking all our jobs, this won't make you feel much better. It turns out ChatGPT has the smarts to be a doctor, lawyer, or business exec. The AI chatbot has passed the relevant university exams in those fields, but that's not to say it's passing these tests with flying colors. In fact, professors say the AI platform is a mediocre student at best. GPT-3, the language model on which ChatGPT is built on, got a score of between B and B- on the final exam for an MBA course at the prestigious Wharton Business School. In law exams, ChatGPT averaged a C+, well below humans' B+ average. That C+ would still be enough to earn the chatbot a law degree, although it would have been placed on academic probation at the University of Minnesota. And it got a passing grade in the U.S. medical licensing exam. It had not received any specific study materials or training before any of the tests. So you're probably wondering how ChatGPT retains information in such a way that it can score somewhat decent grades in exams. Well, the language model it uses has actually been around for 30 years, and scientists say the tech has only been getting better.
So in the simplest possible term, a language model is a statistical model that predicts the next word in a sequence of words. It's not a new thing. They were invented actually in the early 1990s, so decades ago. But of course, there's been a bit of a revolution in statistical models since then. So the early versions had very, very small neural networks. And since then, the neural networks have gotten bigger, they've gotten deeper. They've been trained on an insane amount of data. And of course, there's been this whole cloud computing revolution. So now we have insane amounts of compute power to train these models on lots of data.
It's trained on a large data set of curated written material, for instance, Wikipedia, all the books in the world, scientific papers, code, a lot of things like that. And it literally is trained by giving it a sentence, blanking out the last word and having it learn to guess what that last word will be.
You've now got the gist of how ChatGPT is trained by going through mountains of data. Ask it a question and it will answer within seconds. Let's see it in action.
GPT, I would like you to explain to me all about the use of chaos theory in predicting weather cycles. I'm not terribly bright, so I'd like you to explain it to me like I'm 5. And if you wouldn't mind, could you give me the answer in exactly 10 bullet points? And it says, chaos theory is a mathematical theory that tells us that small changes in initial conditions can lead to large differences in the results. It goes on. This is used to explain how weather can be unpredictable, since small changes in the atmosphere can have large effects on the weather. Absolutely remarkable. So it's given us exactly 10 bullet points, and we asked it to explain it like we're 5, and that's what it's done.
Oscar nominations were announced this week, and according to the critics, there weren't that many surprises, although it is being praised for historic Asian representation.
Mrs. Wang, are you with us?
I am paying attention.
Madcap Adventure Everything Everywhere All at Once led the pack with 11 nominations. Its actors Michelle Yeoh, Jamie Lee Curtis, Ko Hui Kwan, and Stephanie Su were all nominated for the first time. Ali John reports.
Everything Everywhere All at Once will be the one to beat at the Oscars with its 11 nominations.
The universe is so much bigger than you realize.
The film's a gripping character study. Former action star Michelle Yeoh finally got a good script to show off her drama and comedy skills.
Don't let anything distract you from it.
Everyone in their aunt loved her performance, and that makes her a strong candidate for Best Actress. The film also deals with the multiverse. It's a hot topic in Hollywood right now. That, doubled with great direction, could also land it Best Picture.
Every rejection, every disappointment has led you here.
Then there's All Quiet on the Western Front. With the current real-life conflicts, this one shines as a timely anti-war movie. And remember, the 1930 adaptation of the famous novel was also a warning. But World War II still happened. This movie could be the most meaningful Academy pick of the year. The Banshees of Inisherin is also on everyone's radar. It's about fallout between friends, but it's actually an allegory for Irish politics.
Bother me from this day on. I'll take those shears and I'll take one of my fingers off with them and I'll give that finger to you until I have no fingers left. Does this make things clearer to you?
Not really, no.
And it's the acting that gets that message across. So Colin Farrell might actually land the Best Actor award. As for Oscar snubs, my pick would be The Woman King. It's a female empowerment film with non-white actors, and it didn't make the cut. Critics and the internet agree. They also voiced their disappointment due to Viola Davis's absence in the Best Actress category. And that leads to the bigger picture, diversity. Asian actors got their due this year, thanks especially to the cast of Everything Everywhere All at Once. But there are no black actors in leading categories, and no women director nominations either. Until there's a balance in gender and race at the Academy, I don't think we can speak about true equality at the Oscars.
All right, the world of television is mourning one of the true greats. Lloyd Morissette, the co-creator of Sesame Street, has passed away. The iconic kids show has reached 119 million children since it was launched in 1969. Claire plays tribute to a true television icon.
It's the show that has charmed and educated children since it aired more than 50 years ago.
You sing the alphabet.
The man who came up with the idea of using television to teach young children literacy and numeracy has died. The non-profit behind the show tweeted on Monday, "Sesame Workshop mourns the passing of our esteemed and beloved co-founder, Lloyd N. Morissette, PhD, who died at the age of 93. Sesame Workshop said Morissette was a wise, thoughtful, and above all, kind leader. Morissette and Joan Gans Cooney worked with a developmental psychologist to build the show's unique approach. They hired puppeteer Jim Henson to develop his ensemble of characters, the Muppets, for the show.
Hey, welcome to Sesame Street. Hi.
Here are two of the mainstays, Bert and Ernie, explaining the concept of fear.
Ernie? Ah! Oh, Bert! Oh, Bert, you scared me, Bert. That's not funny, Bert.
Hallo, Bert.
Hallo, Ernie. Ich wollte gerade...
By its 50th anniversary in 2019, Sesame Street had been translated into 70 languages and viewed by 190 million children.
Conflict! Conflict! Oh, conflict!
There have been many celebrity guest appearances over the years, including a healthy eating campaign from a decade ago featuring then First Lady Michelle Obama.
Emma eats lots of fruits and vegetables every day, Mrs. Obama.
That's very good.
Say ah.
Compared with the characters, Morissette kept a low profile. But in the words of the show's co-founder, without Lloyd Morissette, there would be no Sesame Street.
I grew up watching that show in the 90s. And that's Newsfeed for today. Find us on YouTube and do subscribe to our channel. See you soon.